I woke up and realized I had transmigrated into a cliché drama as the male second lead, a devoted simp. Before I could adjust, a divorce agreement was slammed in my face. Lin Fan. Sign it. We should have ended this a long time ago. A tall, graceful woman with a frosty expression stood before me. Looking down, ignoring her icy gaze, I glanced at the agreement on the floor, and when I saw the amount with so many zeros at the end, I couldn't suppress my joy. Trembling, I quickly signed my name. Lin Fan, you signed it? Liu Ruyan was a bit suspicious. In the past, Lin Fan would have cried and made a scene, refusing to sign the divorce no matter what. Today, he was so straightforward. I sneered inwardly. Your white moonlight is back. According to the plot, I'd end up losing both my money and my love. If I don't stay away from you now, I won't have a good ending. Before Liu Ruyan could react, I dragged her quickly towards the Civil Affairs Bureau, hoping to get the breakup fee as soon as possible. Hoping to get the divorce certificate as soon as possible. But when we got to the Civil Affairs Bureau, I found out that there was a 1-month cooling-off period before we could finalize the divorce. But that didn't stop Liu Ruyan from fulfilling her obligations under the agreement, transferring the money to my account in advance. After leaving the Civil Affairs Bureau, I pretended to be sad and said goodbye to Liu Ruyan. Liu Ruyan even wanted to comfort me, saying that I could still live at home until the official divorce, but I refused decisively. Looking at the 10-figure sum in my bank account on my phone, I immediately booked the presidential suite in the city's best 5-star hotel. After checking in, I lay comfortably on the 10-meter-wide luxurious bed and began to recall the plot of this cliché drama. In the drama, the male second lead was originally the eldest son of the richest man in Beijing. He fell in love with Liu Ruyan at first sight and cut off ties with his family to pursue her. Liu Ruyan, seeing that Lin Fan looked a bit like the male lead, treated him as a substitute and married him. After the marriage, Lin Fan was completely obedient to Liu Ruyan, silently devoting himself to her. But when the male lead returned, Liu Ruyan became increasingly disgusted with the male second lead, secretly having affairs with her white moonlight. The male second lead became jealous and engaged in all sorts of strange behavior, eventually dying in an accident, losing both his money and his love, and the male and female leads became lovers and lived happily ever after. That's right, the devoted simp eventually licked everything away. After sorting out the plot, I was even more determined to stay away from the male and female leads and avoid becoming cannon fodder to prove their love. Cannon fodder? Whoever wants to be it can be it. I definitely won't. Just as I was thinking about how to spend that money I could never spend in my lifetime, my phone rang. The phone displayed wife. My heart jumped. Could she be regretting it? My happy life hasn't even started yet. I calmed down and answered the phone steadily, sounding sad and low. Hello? A cold voice from Liu Ruyan came through the phone. Lin Fan, quickly move your things out. I don't want Aotian to be unhappy when he sees them. I pouted and said in a low voice, I'll be unhappy too when I see things related to you. Just throw them away. I pretended to be sad. There was a moment of silence on the phone. I don't have time. You pack your things up and leave immediately. As soon as she finished speaking, the phone hung up. I owe you? We're already divorced, and you're still ordering me around? Am I used to spoiling you? Soon, I arrived at the villa. Liu Ruyan was wearing a low-cut floral silk pajamas, sitting on the sofa in the living room, looking intently at the screen of her computer. Looking at Liu Ruyan's graceful figure, sexy and charming, a surge of heat rose up. This damn charm. She deserves to be the female lead. I swallowed, and, seeing that she didn't seem to want to pay attention to me, went upstairs to pack my things on my own. Besides a few clothes, the rest were all photos and albums related to Liu Ruyan. I casually threw the albums into the trash can. If I don't throw away the past, how can I welcome my new future? I quickly packed and carried my bag downstairs. Seeing me coming down, Liu Ruyan moved her gaze from the screen and looked at me, hesitant to speak. Still want to cause trouble? It's better to leave quickly. I turned and went out the door, ready to put my things in the trunk of the car. You're a Lin Fan? A man, about 1.87 meters tall, well-proportioned and fair-skinned, walked up to me and said with a smile that wasn't a smile, seeing his appearance, which was similar to mine, I had already guessed his identity. Liu Ruyan's white moonlight. Aotian. Oh, should I call you Brother Aotian or Brother Adulterer? I teased coldly. It seems like you've misunderstood something. You and Ruyan have no feelings for each other. You won't be happy. It's better for everyone if you leave now. Hearing his domineering CEO tone, I felt disgusted. Is this script for female readers? Seeing his self-righteous expression, I really wanted to shove him down the toilet. I'm not a masochist. That's right. You two are a couple. I'm the mistress. Can I leave? I didn't want to stay in front of that face for another moment. I threw down a sentence, ignored his arrogant expression, opened the door, got in the car, and drove away. In the car, I thought, am I being a bit of a coward? A green hat is put on my face, and I still have to thank him for the gift? Disgusting me? You wait. I'll get revenge before the night is over, or it will affect my sleep. I turned the car around and secretly returned to the villa. At this moment, Liu Ruyan and Aotian were in the living room. Aotian's arm was draped over Liu Ruyan's shoulder. Liu Ruyan didn't resist and continued to watch the computer screen naturally. The two were chatting, saying one thing and then another. Adulterer and adulteress. I cursed inwardly, afraid of being discovered. I kept my distance, so I didn't hear the details of their conversation. I quickly took a few photos of them being intimate. On the way back to the hotel, I directly dialed 110 and reported Liu Ruyan for hiring prostitutes at home under my real name. I found the phone number of a paparazzi, sent the photos, and wrote a note that the chairman of the Liu group was keeping a gigolo. Signed, I'm a good person. After finishing all this, I turned off my phone and lay comfortably on the 10-meter-wide luxurious bed in the presidential suite, sleeping soundly. The next day at noon, I woke up groggily. It feels so good to sleep until I wake up naturally. Today, I'm going to start a happy life. I washed up simply and opened my phone. A pile of missed calls and messages filled the screen. Just as I was about to delete the messages, the phone rang. Lin Fan, look at what you've done. Why did you make an illegal report? Do you know the consequences? Do you know how I feel right now? How can Aotian face such criticism? Don't be so unreasonable anymore. I don't love you. The more you do this, the more I hate you. As soon as I answered the phone, Liu Ruyan's furious voice came through. Liu Ruyan's blaming voice rang for more than 10 minutes before finally quieting down. I put the phone, which I had taken far away, to my mouth and said coldly, anything else? If not, I'll hang up. Without waiting for Liu Ruyan's answer, I hung up the phone, hummed a little tune, put on my clothes, and went straight to the restaurant, putting Liu Ruyan on the blacklist along the way. The restaurant was very large and luxurious. Those who could eat there were rich and noble. I found a secluded spot and ordered a few ridiculously expensive dishes. A fool doesn't spend money. The conversation of the young men in suits behind me really whetted my appetite. Have you heard? The chairman of the Liu group was arrested for hiring prostitutes yesterday. Impossible. Isn't the chairman of the Liu group that Liu Ruyan? Isn't Liu Ruyan the #1 beauty in the city? Why would she need to hire a prostitute? I heard that someone made a real name report, and the police were dispatched. Can that be fake? No way. I saw on the grapevine that Liu Ruyan is keeping a gigolo. There are pictures and the truth. Really? Liu Ruyan has been married for 5 years, and she's still playing around like this? What do you know? You don't understand the world of the rich. Looking at the exquisite seafood feast, my appetite was greatly aroused. Lin Fan, Liu Ruyan charged in my direction, walking quickly. She's a persistent ghost. I can't even eat in peace. I didn't even look up, continuing to eat the seafood in my hand slowly. Seeing that I ignored her, Liu Ruyan's emotions were ignited. Lin Fan, are you still a man? How could you do such a thing? I put down the seafood and looked directly into her eyes, sneering. Do you not know if I'm a man? Liu Ruyan was speechless for a moment. Lin Fan, I know the divorce has caused you to lose control, but you can't do such a thing. Aotian leaned out from behind Liu Ruyan, smelling like tea. This dung beetle is everywhere, isn't he? Giving me tea art? What did I do? Tell me. I retorted. You reported. Aotian held back for a long time, considering that this matter was related to him. So he couldn't say it from his mouth. Otherwise, it would be easy to leave him with a bad reputation. In the end, he didn't say it. Oh, you can't say it, but you can do it, right? Looking at his funny expression that was about to burst, I couldn't help but tease. Lin Fan, you're a bastard. Liu Ruyan felt sorry for Aotian being wronged and pointed at me with tears in her eyes. I'm a bastard? I'm a bastard? Liu Ruyan, we're divorced, but we haven't gone through the formalities yet. You're still my wife. You call a man to your house in the middle of the night, and you blame me? Blaming me? I won't stand on the moral high ground and spray you to death. This adulterer and adulteress, at first, the people in the restaurant thought it was an ordinary emotional entanglement. But after I pointed out that the woman was Liu Ruyan, everyone present became interested and slowly gathered around. After all, people are emotional animals and like to join the fun, especially since Liu Ruyan is a celebrity. Being able to eat such a big melon can satisfy both their bodies and minds. She's Liu Ruyan, quite beautiful. No wonder she's the #1 beauty in the city. Marrying her is worth a lifetime, but you'll also wear a green hat for a lifetime. Is that man next to her the boy toy she's keeping? The onlookers whispered. All sorts of nasty words reached Liu Ruyan's ears. Her face was ashen, and her body trembled. Aotian next to her was also blushing with shame, tugging at Liu Ruyan's sleeve, and they slinked out of the restaurant. Doing a play, you have to do the whole set, and I have to do the final scene. I sighed deeply, cupped my hands to the crowd, feigning loss and sadness. Such misfortune in the family. I raised my hand and wiped away non-existent tears from the corner of my eye. Mr. Lin, don't be sad. It's better to not have such a fickle woman. That's right, Mr. Lin. You're handsome and dashing. You'll have no problem finding a woman. Yeah, those two will not last long. Listening to everyone's words of comfort, I covered my face with my hands, waved, and sadly left the restaurant. Just as Liu Ruyan was pulled out of the restaurant by Aotian, her phone rang. Chairman Liu, please check the company's stock. It has already dropped by 10%. It's hit the limit down. Liu Ruyan quickly opened the stock app. The stock price plunging straight down, green, filled her vision. Her brain whirred, and she hurriedly issued instructions to the investment control department manager on the other end of the phone to stabilize the stock. Chairman Liu, I can't do it. The company doesn't have enough funds to stabilize it. I predict that the stock will continue to fall tomorrow due to the impact of this public opinion. Not enough funds. Where's the money? Liu Ruyan was a little dazed. Although she was the chairman, Lin Fan had always been in charge of the company's management. Chairman Liu, during the divorce, you gave all the company's cash to Lin Fan. The investment control department manager continued to explain. Liu Ruyan suddenly realized, but was helpless. She could only continue to instruct the investment control department manager to try everything possible to stabilize the company's stock, and she would figure out the rest. Aotian, I remember you have tens of millions, Liu Ruyan asked Aotian in a low voice. This tens of millions was all pocket money that Liu Ruyan occasionally gave him. Now she wanted to get it back from him. Aotian felt a little heartache, and he hated Lin Fan even more in his heart. But with a smiling face, he said, Ruyan, take the money. What's mine is yours. Thank you, brother Aotian. Liu Ruyan breathed a sigh of relief. She was a little worried that this incident would affect her relationship with Aotian. Brother Aotian, let's go pick up the sports car we ordered last time. It should be here today. Liu Ruyan smiled and took Aotian to the car dealership. Today, I'm really happy. I hummed a little tune and cruised down the street in my car. My phone rang, showing a customer service call from the car dealership. I was suspicious, but I answered anyway. A gentle and sexy female voice came from the other end. Mr. Lin, the car you ordered has arrived. You can pick it up today. Welcome. A new car? Who would want to buy me a car? I'm sure Liu Ruyan must have brought it for her lover. You wait and see. Liu Ruyan never bought me anything, even if I bought it myself. If it was slightly expensive, I was scolded. I couldn't wait and floored the gas pedal directly to the car dealership. Before even entering the door, I saw Liu Ruyan and Aotian laughing and talking happily at the car dealership. Oh, you guys are pretty happy. What's the good news? I went forward and asked half-jokingly. Hearing my voice, the two of them jolted, released their linked arms, and moved a little distance apart. At this moment, there was a sense of being caught in the act of adultery. Lin Fan, what are you doing here? Liu Ruyan concealed her guilt and said irritably, Why can't I be here? If adulterers and whores can come, why can't I? I sneered. What are you talking about? What adulterers and whores? You're spewing nonsense. Liu Ruyan, we haven't divorced yet, and you're holding hands. What else would you call you but adulterers and whores? I teased. You. Liu Ruyan was just about to argue when she was stopped by Aotian. Having witnessed Lin Fan's eloquence, he didn't want to suffer again. Otherwise, they would be the ones losing face. Liu Ruyan, prevented from venting her anger by Aotian, had eyes that were red with anger. I ignored the two lovebirds and asked the sales manager who was watching the show, I'm here to pick up my car today. Okay, sir, may I ask for your name so I could check? The sales manager had a professional smile on his face and replied respectfully. My name is Lin Fan. Your customer service called me and said the car I pre-ordered had arrived, and I can pick it up today. Okay, sir, I'll process it for you now. The sales manager quickly checked the data and was a little dumbfounded when he saw the information, because the car Liu Ruyan and Aotian were test driving was the one I had pre-ordered. As soon as Liu Ruyan arrived at the car dealership, she went straight to the car, and the manager assumed she was the one who had pre-ordered the car. And now Liu Ruyan and Aotian were already in the car, preparing for a test drive. The sales manager's face was pale, and he was already sweating. He didn't want to lose this sale, and if the company found out that the car that was pre-ordered was test-driven by someone other than the buyer, it would be a serious violation of the company's rules, and he could face dismissal. Thinking of this, the sales manager felt a burst of anger rushing to his head. He said fiercely, "You too, get out of the car." Liu Ruyan and Aotian were happily checking the interior of the car when they were startled by the sales manager's loud scolding. Although they didn't know what had happened, they quickly got out of the car. Sir, I'm sorry. This is my mistake. I didn't know there was someone impersonating the buyer. The sales manager quickly bowed to me and apologized. He was really afraid that this would cause a cancellation. After all, no one wants someone else to drive their new car for the first time. It was a little off-putting. Sir, if you feel that the new car has been sat in by someone else and you think it's dirty, we can replace the interior for you free of charge. The sales manager continued to apologize. Liu Ruyan and Aotian finally knew what was going on. All right, it's a little dirty. Change it for me. After all, it's secondhand, unlike some people who like secondhand things and don't mind the dirt. I glanced at Aotian, whose face was pale, out of the corner of my eye. Lin Fan, you bastard. Liu Ruyan, understanding what was happening, was furious. This car was pre-ordered by me. How did it become his? Madam, I haven't even held you accountable yet. Please leave immediately. The sales manager wasn't used to her and said coldly. When had Liu Ruyan ever suffered such treatment? She changed from her usual aloof and noble appearance and was full of anger. It was ordered by me. Check it carefully. Don't be unreasonable anymore. If it wasn't for the buyer being so magnanimous and not pursuing the matter, you would have been sent to the police station today. The sales manager said impolitely. If you don't explain it clearly today, no one is going anywhere. Liu Ruyan was so angry that her chest heaved. Still don't want to leave? Okay, you wait. The sales manager wasn't afraid of her. He pulled out his phone and dialed the police. Everyone here understands how I feel. It's just so satisfying to watch the drama unfold. I stood to the side and quietly watched their performance. Please bring out the talent. Ruyan, I think we should go. Don't let this small matter affect your mood. Aotian was a little cowardly and pleaded with Liu Ruyan pitifully. But Liu Ruyan was already consumed by anger at this moment. He couldn't persuade her either. Brother Aotian, no, I must teach them a lesson today. Liu Ruyan was determined. She glared at Lin Fan, seeing him so calm and relaxed, and her anger flared up even more. In the past, Lin Fan would support her no matter whether she was right or wrong. Looking at the somewhat cowardly and sleazy Aotian next to her, she felt a little dazed and couldn't help but ask herself, is this the dashing and confident Aotian that I know? Soon, the police car sounded and two people in police uniforms walked in from outside. The sales manager hurriedly stepped forward to explain the situation. Madam, were you the one test driving someone else's car just now? The police asked. Police officer, this car was pre-ordered by me. Why can't I test drive it? Liu Ruyan said confidently. Do you have proof that you pre-ordered it? The police continued. I have the record, look. Liu Ruyan took out her phone and showed the police her WeChat information. The phone screen clearly showed, Lin Fan, order a Ferrari, model XXX red at XX car dealership for me. Okay, wife. Date XXXXXX. Madam, who is Lin Fan? The police asked. Police officer, I am Lin Fan. I stepped forward, suppressing a smile. Oh, you're Lin Fan. What is your relationship with this woman? The police asked suspiciously. She's my ex-wife. The divorce hasn't been officially processed yet. I laughed. The divorce hasn't been officially processed yet? So he's still your husband. Is that right, madam? The police turned to ask Liu Ruyan. We're in the cooling-off period of a divorce. Liu Ruyan stammered. So you're not divorced? Liu Ruyan reluctantly nodded. Then who is this gentleman? This is my friend. Liu Ruyan was a little guilty, and her breath was short. So, you asked your husband to buy a car, and you're going to give the car to your friend? The police now probably guessed the sequence of events. Wow, this is catching them in the act of adultery. How brave are adulterers and whores these days? The sales manager was shocked and sighed in a low voice, but his voice clearly fell into everyone's ears. Aotian lowered his head to hide his pale face. Liu Ruyan turned her body and dared not face the police, like a little girl who had made a mistake, clutching at the corner of her clothes. Seeing their appearance, I was secretly overjoyed. You finally have this day, thinking back to how I always gave way in the past, only to be met with humiliation and grievance. This is what feels good. This is a matter of emotional dispute, which is outside our jurisdiction, but madam, openly violating social order and good customs like this, we have the right to educate you, the police said coldly. The police's words were like publicly sentencing them. Liu Ruyan and the other lowered their heads in grievance and admitted their mistakes. The sales manager understood everything and also said that he would not pursue the matter, and I once again showed a sad and aggrieved expression and received comfort from the police officers. Liu Ruyan lowered her head and glanced at me. Seeing my aggrieved expression, she was already grinding her teeth in anger, and Aotian, after experiencing 2 public sentencings, was starting to back down. This is too scary. If this gets out, he won't be able to mix in with the flowers anymore. For a male lead like him who rises by conquering women, this will ruin his career. He can't lose a forest for one tree. Aotian seemed to have made up his mind, ignoring Liu Ruyan's struggle and resistance. He resolutely took her away. Seeing them running away in embarrassment, my body and mind were extremely happy, and I couldn't help but sigh that only a licking dog's life can cultivate such unscrupulous adulterers and whores. After explaining the follow-up matters of a new car to the sales manager, I left the car dealership. The original owner was originally the eldest son of the richest man in Beijing. Because of a woman, he severed ties with his biological parents. He has to be called a pure love warrior. I opened my phone and dialed my mother's phone. It didn't ring a few times before a loving and gentle voice came from the other end. Son, you finally called Mom. Are you okay now? I've already persuaded your dad about your marriage. You can marry whoever you like, and Mom and Dad will support you. Don't ignore Mom and Dad. Here are my mother's instructions. I couldn't help but tear up. Only an idiot would sever ties with parents who cared so much for their children. I suppressed my emotions and choked out, Mom, it won't happen again. I'll listen to you. Hearing her son's sad words, my mother on the other end was clearly worried and quickly asked, Son, what happened? Tell Mom and Dad. Did someone mistreat you? Mom, no, I just regret some of the things I did in the past that hurt you. I quickly reassured her. Relief washed over her, and she continued to ask with concern, Mom and Dad don't blame you. We also agree to your marriage with Liu Ruyan. So what if we can't hold our grandson? I don't care if your dad wants one. Let him have one himself. The original owner's parents had always opposed his marriage to Liu Ruyan because she couldn't have children. After all, the Lin family's vast fortune needed an heir. The original owner feared that Liu Ruyan would feel inferior because of his prominent family, so he never let her know about his background. Coupled with his parents' opposition, he directly cut off contact with his family, further preventing Liu Ruyan from finding out the truth. In Liu Ruyan's impression, Lin Fan was born into an ordinary family. I divorced Liu Ruyan, I explained. A commotion erupted on the other end of the line, and a calm, slightly excited male voice came through. Divorced. Son, good for you. I knew that Liu Ruyan wasn't good enough for you. It's good that you left her. I'll arrange a blind date with some socialite beauties for you right away. Lin Fan, don't you know your son just got divorced? Can't you comfort him properly? If my son is too heartbroken, I won't let you off the hook. Hee. Lin Fan chuckled foolishly. Hearing his parents arguing over his affairs, a wave of warmth washed over me. A parent's love was true and selfless. Mom, don't blame Dad. I'm fine. I'm over it now. I comforted her. It's good that you're over it. When are you coming home? Mom will make your favorite dishes. Okay, I know. I'll go home when I finish what I'm working on, I explained. After telling my parents about my recent situation, I hung up the phone, thinking that things here should also come to an end. I found Ziyuan's phone number on my phone and dialed it. Ziyuan was the original owner's childhood sweetheart and the only friend he had kept in touch with since marrying Liu Ruyan. A moment later, the phone connected, and a lazy, sweet, lowly voice came from the other end. Oh, great Casanova. What are you doing calling me? Aren't you going to go and coax your dear Liu Ruyan? Ziyuan teased. Little Yuanzi, I need your help. Hearing the words little Yuanzi, the other end clearly perked up because it had been a long time since Lin Fan had called her that. Ever since Lin Fan met Liu Ruyan, he had distanced himself from all his female friends, fearing that she would misunderstand. Just because you call me that so affectionately, I'll help you, Ziyuan said readily. You're not even going to ask what kind of help? If you need my help, it must be something I can handle. Even if I can't, what can't the Lin family take care of? Ziyuan laughed. Indeed, the Lin family in Jing City had great influence in both the political and business worlds. In the business world, his father, Lin Fan, was the richest man in Jing City and one of the top in the country. In the political world, his uncle, Jiang Rahai, was in a high position and had already entered the center of power. I want to short the Liu Group stock. Liu Group? Isn't that Liu Ruyan's company? Ziyuan asked suspiciously. I divorced Liu Ruyan. Her white moonlight has returned, I explained simply. Wow, what's with Liu Ruyan's eyesight? She doesn't want her precious jade and wants that rock from the cesspool? Ziyuan wondered. It's really a case of beauty is in the eye of the beholder. I have a whole bunch of dirt on her white moonlight. Did you specifically investigate Aotian? I asked. I don't have time to specifically investigate. His dirt from abroad has been flying all over the place. It's been circulating in foreign circles for a long time, Ziyuan explained. Then send me a copy. It was like someone handing me a pillow when I was about to fall asleep. Okay, why hasn't it been sent yet? I looked at my phone, and the file was still showing that it was being sent. Brother, I sent it. The dirt is too big. It's several hundred gigabytes. Even after I compressed it, it's still several gigabytes. Ziyuan complained a little. Wow, is the water that deep? I was shocked. Brother, do you know what foreign circles call Aotian? He's called Superman. He's almost explored all the species. It's too eye-catching. Ziyuan exclaimed. Stop talking. Just hearing will pollute my pure soul, I teased. Okay. You're as pure as a 3-year-old, all right? Ziyuan was also in awe. Let's get down to business. I have 100 million yuan. You had a 10x leverage and short Liu Group. Okay, so easy, Ziyuan agreed quickly. After hanging up the phone, I returned to the hotel, took a shower, and lay down on a luxurious 10-meter-wide bed, ending a beautiful and pleasant day. The next day, I was woken up from my sleep by a string of ringtones. I opened my phone, and it showed a call from my younger cousin, Lin Xiangdong. Brother Fan, I heard you got divorced. I responded simply. Such a good thing. Why didn't you share it with your brother? Lin Xiangdong and Lin Fan had been close since childhood, but they had rarely been in touch since Lin Fan got married. Get out of here. I didn't humor him. Lin Xiangdong was usually not serious, and the two got along very casually. Hee, I'm getting out. I'm back again, Lin Xiangdong teased. Spit out if you have something to say, I said, a little speechless. He was old enough to still be playing these games. Let's talk business. The National Investment Promotion Conference is being held at the Haitian Hotel today. Uncle wants you to attend. I'm not going. Go if you want to go. I refused. I never liked this kind of social engagement. Don't. Have pity on your brother. Uncle has given me a death order. If I don't get you, Uncle will send me to Southeast Asia to plant sugarcane. Lin Xiangdong looked pitiful and pleaded. I think it's good. You make trouble wherever you go. There's no one to control you there. Aren't you satisfied? I teased. Brother, am I still your beloved brother? Have pity on me. Give me one more chance. Lin Xiangdong was getting more and more off track. Okay, send me the time and address. I agreed, bothered. A moment later, he sent a message, 8 p.m., the reception hall on the top floor of the Haitian hotel. I washed up, ate a simple breakfast, and went to a luxury store to buy an expensive suit. Then I messed around with my hairstyle, looking at myself in the mirror. With my tall figure and handsome face, I was quite satisfied. On the way back to the hotel, beautiful girls kept giving me flirtatious glances. I thought to myself, why is the second male lead so outstanding? Yet he's stubbornly hung up on one tree. Is his brain rusty? Maybe this only exists in dog blood dramas. Just as I arrived at the hotel, Ziyuan's call came. Brother Fan, mission accomplished. Oh, that fast? I had to admire the efficiency of the Ziyuan girl. That's right, the Lucier group was already in the eye of the public, and I just added fuel to the fire. It caught fire, and I made a lot of money. I casually acquired a lot of shares from retail investors. Before trading stops this afternoon, you'll be the largest shareholder of the Lucier group, Ziyuan said excitedly. Oh, what a pleasant surprise. How are you going to repay me? I'm very picky. Okay, there's a banquet today. Dress nicely, and I'll invite you to be my date and take you to eat a buffet. Forget about the buffet, but I'm a little interested in being your date. Okay, wait for me. See you tonight, Ziyuan agreed readily. I sent the time and address of the investment promotion conference to Ziyuan in a text message. At 8 p.m., the banquet hall of the Haitian hotel. Have you heard? The eldest son of the Lin Group is coming back today, and I heard. The chairman of the Lin Group released the news that he will be selecting a future daughter-in-law on site. Is there such a good thing? Yes, look, many daughters from wealthy families have come today. Yeah, I was wondering why so many big shots and their daughters came to this ordinary investment promotion conference today. Yeah, today is not an investment promotion conference. It's obviously a blind date event for the Lin Group. A lot of business giants, socialites, and rich women came to the hall, forming small circles and chatting. People from the Lin Group will also be here today. If we take the opportunity to get investment from the Lin Group, our Lucier Group will be able to get out of its predicament, Aotian suggested to Liu Ruyan. Okay, brother Aotian, we must seize this opportunity because my dad was so angry about the company's stock falling that he was hospitalized, Liu Ruyan said, feeling a little depressed. Our Lucier Group? You white-faced, pretty boy, if it weren't for you interfering, would our group be in this state? Yu Ting, the head of the investment control department of the Lucier Group, rolled her eyes and complained in her heart. As soon as I entered the banquet hall, a beautiful woman wearing a classical cheongsam, naturally beautiful and graceful, walked towards me from a distance. Don't you recognize me? Ziyuan blinked her bright eyes. I don't recognize you. I've never seen you so beautiful, I joked. Are you laughing at me? Ziyuan pouted, pretending to be angry. I've always seen you as half a boy. I've never seen you dressed like this before, I explained. Forget it. I'm not angry with you, Ziyuan said happily, hooking her arm around mine. The surge pressed tightly against me, sending a soft sensation through my body. President Liu, look, Assistant Lin is here too. Yu Ting saw me walking in with my date. Lin Fan, Liu Ruyan saw me holding a beautiful woman and walked angrily towards me. Lin Fan, don't be so childish. I was chatting with Ziyuan when Liu Ruyan's angry voice interrupted me. I calmly looked at Liu Ruyan in her anger, which further fueled Liu Ruyan's anger. Are you trying to show off by finding a woman like this? No matter how much you pester me, I won't love you. Stop your childish behavior. Yes, Lin Fan, what is your status? Is this even a place for you to be? Aotian quickly chimed in. Madam, haven't you been deceived by him? Not everyone who wears a dragon robe is a prince. Seeing that Ziyuan was so beautiful, Aotian secretly coveted her, feeling that only he could have her, and Lin Fan must have been pretending to be rich to deceive her. Why is there dung beetle everywhere? spraying dung. I took a step back, pretending to smell something stinky, and waved my hand. Lin Fan, you are too much, Liu Ruyan said angrily. Ruyan, don't be angry with such a person with no manners, Aotian said, turning to comfort Liu Ruyan. Madam, I also hope that you can recognize who are gentlemen and who are rude people, Aotian said to Ziyuan, even reaching out to shake hand with Ziyuan and introduce himself. I was about to stop him. Slap. Ziyuan slapped Aotian in the face. Awesome. I was secretly delighted. Aotian thought that by relying on the male lead of a dog blood drama, he could become familiar with Ziyan. Serves him right. Who do you think will fall for your act? I also wanted to go up and give him a hit to feel the sensation. You. Aotian covered his face and looked at Ziyuan angrily. I quickly pulled Ziyuan behind me. Aotian, are you all right? Liu Ruyan went up to comfort him. Aotian covered his hot cheeks, and his eyes almost overflowed with resentment. But in front of Liu Ruyan, he suppressed it and whispered to Liu Ruyan, Ruyan, let's go. Don't bother with such an unmanly person. Don't delay the important matter. He knew that the goal tonight was to contact the Lin group, so he couldn't be petty. Liu Ruyan looked at the red mark on Aotian's face with heartache. Her hatred for Lin Fan and Ziyuan deepened. She glared fiercely at Lin Fan and said, Lin Fan, just you wait. And you. She pointed at Ziyuan. I'll make you pay for this slap. With that, she was half dragged, half pulled by Aotian away from Lin Fan and Ziyuan. Ziyuan watched their backs and pouted, Brother Fan, your ex-wife has terrible taste. She found such a thing and treasures it. The way that man looked at me was disgusting. I smiled and patted her hand. You worked hard. Xiao Yuanzi, you dirtied your hand. Don't worry, their good days are still ahead. A cold glint flashed in my eyes. The banquet hall lights suddenly focused on the entrance. Lin Futian and his wife, Jiang Yun, entered the venue, surrounded by people. Lin Futian was composed and steady. Jiang Yun was graceful and luxurious, instantly becoming the focus of the entire hall. Business tycoons flocked forward to greet them. Liu Ruyan and Aotian also perked up and tidied their appearances, preparing to find an opportunity to go up and chat. Yu Ting nervously followed behind. Lin Futian and his wife gave a short speech on the stage, thanking everyone for attending the investment conference and announcing some cooperation intentions. At the end of the speech, Lin Futian changed the subject, looking at the audience with a loving smile. Today, there is also a family matter I would like to share with you all. My wayward son has finally found his way back home. The spotlight instantly shone on me. The whole audience erupted. Lin Futian's voice was loud and clear. Lin Fan, my eldest son, the future successor of the Lin Group. He was ignorant in his youth and left home for so-called love, but now he has finally woken up. From today onwards, he will officially return to the Lin family and participate in the core affairs of the group. After a deathly silence, there was thunderous applause and countless shocked, envious, and inquisitive glances. Liu Ruyan was struck by lightning. The color drained from her face instantly, and her body swayed, almost unable to stand. She looked incredulously at the tall and confident figure under the spotlight, then looked at Aotian beside her, who was equally dumbfounded and pale. Lin Fan was the crown prince of the Lin Group, the son of the richest man in Jing City, the man she had always thought was ordinary, whom she had used as a substitute, whom she had disliked, and whom she had only thought of giving a small amount of money to get rid of during their divorce, was actually such a prominent figure. An enormous sense of absurdity and intense regret instantly overwhelmed her. She remembered her imperious behavior towards me, her contempt for me because of Aotian, and the fact that the 10 billion divorce fee might be just a drop in the bucket compared to the Lin family's wealth. She felt like a complete joke. Aotian was even more like he had fallen into an ice cave. The family background he was so proud of was simply not worth mentioning in front of me. The ridicule and contempt he had shown me before had now become sharp blades stabbing him. He remembered that he had even fantasized about possessing Ziyuan. A chill ran from the soles of his feet to the top of his head. He had offended someone he shouldn't have. Yu Ting covered her mouth, her eyes wide open, and shouted in her heart, "My God. Assistant Lin, no, young Master Lin. Liu Ruyan, you are really blind. To throw away a golden lay jade and pick up a piece of rotten rock." Amidst everyone's attention, I calmly held Ziyuan's hand and walked onto the stage, standing beside my parents. Taking the microphone, I scanned the audience, pausing for a moment on Liu Ruyan and Aotian, my gaze calm and unwavering, but sending a chill down their spines. Thank you for my parents' tolerance and love. My voice was steady. In the past few years, I have indeed done some foolish things and misjudged some people. However, people must be responsible for their choices. I would also like to take this opportunity to announce something. My tone turned cold regarding the Liu Group. As the current largest shareholder of the Liu Group, Ziyuan's operation this afternoon has been completed. I have decided. Liu Ruyan's heart jumped to her throat, and she looked at me in despair. In view of the recent serious public opinion crisis and stock price collapse caused by the Liu Group's poor management, decision-making errors, and certain individual moral issues, I have decided to exercise the rights of a major shareholder and propose to convene an extraordinary general meeting to reorganize the board of directors and launch a comprehensive audit of the group's financial situation. My voice carried no emotion. At the same time, all companies and partners under the Lin Group will suspend all cooperation projects with the Liu Group. This was undoubtedly the final blow to the already shaky Liu Group. An audit meant that more problems might be discovered. A reorganization of the board of directors meant that Liu Ruyan would completely lose control, and the suspension of cooperation was even worse. Liu Ruyan's vision went dark, and she collapsed in her chair, her face ashen. She knew that the Liu Group was finished, her father's hard work was finished, and everything she was proud of was finished. And all of this was largely because she had driven away Lin Fan, the real god of wealth and guardian, for Aotian. Aotian also panicked. If the Liu Group fell, he would not only lose Liu Ruyan, the ATM, but also possibly face my liquidation. Just as Liu Ruyan was in despair, my gaze locked onto Aotian again, and a cold arc appeared at the corner of my mouth. Also, regarding this Mr. Aotian, my voice was transmitted throughout the venue through the microphone. I have received some information about his wonderful deeds overseas, and I feel it is necessary to let everyone know about it, lest someone continue to be deceived by his glamorous appearance. I gestured, and the big screen in the banquet hall suddenly lit up. Ziyuan's streamlined and most impactful Aotian's overseas black material collection began to play. Although the key parts were censored, those unsightly scenes, chaotic parties, pictures involving special fetishes, such as with animals, group sex, etc., and his chat records of deceiving women and running away with money, even evidence involving some gray area transactions, were clearly displayed. The whole audience exploded instantly. Exclamations, contempt, and ridicule rose and fell. "Oh my God, it's so disgusting. This is President Liu's white moonlight. He's just trash." Liu Ruyan abandoned young Master Lin for this kind of person. Her brain must be waterlogged. Aotian's face was as white as paper, and he was shaking all over. He desperately wanted to rush up and turn off the screen, but was stopped by the security guards who had appeared out of nowhere. He felt that everyone's gazes were like needles pricking him. Wishing he could find a crack in the ground to crawl into, the image he had painstakingly cultivated had completely collapsed at this moment. Liu Ruyan looked at the screen, then looked at the man beside her, whom she had once regarded as a treasure and wanted to obtain at all costs. And her stomach churned. She pushed Aotian away and rushed to the corner, vomiting violently. The huge psychological shock and physical disgust almost broke her down. She finally understood what a piece of rough jade she had abandoned and what a stinky pile of garbage she had picked up. Regret, disgust, shame, all kinds of emotions intertwined, causing her unbearable pain. I looked at the scene in front of me without any fluctuations in my heart. Turning off the microphone, I nodded to my parents and Ziyuan. Lin Fan patted my shoulder, his eyes full of relief. Jiang Yun held Ziyuan's hand, and liked her more and more the more she looked at her. I no longer paid attention to the mess behind me and Liu Ruyan's collapsing cries, or Aotian's disheveled state like a lost dog. Taking Ziyuan's arm, amidst the respectful and envious gazes of the crowd, I walked with my parents to the depths of the banquet hall, beginning the social life that truly belonged to him, the Lin group's heir. The fate of the Liu group was already sealed. Liu's father learned of everything that happened tonight, and his condition worsened. Liu Ruyan would not only face the company's bankruptcy liquidation and be burdened with debt, but also endure the ridicule from all walks of life and the endless regret in her heart. Aotian was completely discredited, notorious in the circle, and may even face some legal repercussions, and fled the city in disgrace. As for me, I got rid of the tragic fate of the licking dog male second, took back everything that belonged to me, and started the real winner-in-life mode.